Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I would like to start this video with something personal, but maybe not completely, because it's related to my channel and it's related to YouTube and YouTube policies and YouTube restrictions. Before I show you something that I never show to anyone, this will be the first time, I would like to thank Hugh, who donated yesterday on my PayPal. I really appreciate your donation, very generous. Thank you so much. But I just want to show you guys how YouTube operates without informing me. My main source of income is YouTube. I continue with those videos because first and foremost, this is my main source of income, but also because I know many of you appreciate the content I provide. Of course, not all of you. And I think YouTube does not appreciate that also. However, I want to show you two videos recently that have limited monetization. So two videos, and I will show you which ones. You see here with the yellow dollar and this one with the yellow dollar. What does it mean? For example, as I check this particular one, let me show you now. This video right here that I recorded on Sunday, and I was talking about, you see the commercials, but I will tell you how much I will get paid from this so far. This video in which I was talking about Las Vegas and the situation in Kiev and the comments from the viewers, how people are waking up to what's going on in Ukraine, and of course about Texas tragedy. Normally, what I would be paid for this would be 10 times more than I will. But YouTube decided not to monetize it like normally it should be. So even though for my channel 16,000 views is pretty nice, it's really nice, I will receive 1/10 of what I'm supposed to receive. And another video that created a problem is this one, in which I was talking about organ traffickers, because of course this triggered the algorithm. So next time I have to use different words, but then how do you know what I would like to tell you, right? So that's how it looks like, guys. And that's what I want to say, that for me, sometimes, it's easy to get discouraged when you look at this, because I do put energy and I prepare for those videos, as well as when I report on those topics, and I'm a human being that is compassionate and is an empath. I feel all of it, and most of the time the topics really bring your energy down. So sometimes I'm just wondering if I should move my videos to different platform. And it's not Rumble that I want to say, if you comment that's Rumble. No, maybe I should just go to Patreon or Locals and post there. But I know most of you are not able to pay even $5 per month. So I keep on going with YouTube. That's how it looks like. That's why thank you so much for everyone who supports my work. You leave the comments, you hit the likes, but you see, that's how it looks like. If I show you the profits, you will not believe that I still keep on going, but I have very low expenses here where I live. That's why. Let's go to the news, everyone. The first topic that I have for you is from TASS. This is about what Putin has just signed. Putin signs a law allowing non-Russians to enlist in military. This is the article from yesterday, from July 7th. Under the new law, stateless individuals and foreigners will be able to sign contracts and serve in the military until the end of the mobilization period, the termination of martial law, or the expiration of wartime. Amendments were made to several legislative acts, including the laws on military duty and military service, on defense, and on the status of military personnel. Under the new law, this I just read you, the law comes into force from the date of its official publication it was expedited in order to take urgent additional measures to restaff the armed forces of the Russian Federation. So this is the latest news as far as Putin and Russia. Now let me take you, everyone. Where shall I take you? Let me take you to the Epstein story, and I will give you my comments about the Epstein list. So let's play this, because this is the approach that probably most people have, because they come to this conclusion right away after the situation with the list, Epstein list, as you know, does not exist. But I will give you a comment. Of course it exists, but I will give you a comment what I think after I play this video for you. That summarizes the current situation with the list.
DOJ, FBI conclude Epstein had no client list, that he had no blackmail operation, that he died by suicide. Jeffrey Epstein operated by taking young, susceptible, vulnerable women and then selling them. He promised a life of luxury, private islands and private jets in return for massages. This isn't something I'm assuming. It's in the actual filings against Epstein when he was found guilty in federal court of running a sex trafficking ring with Ghislaine Maxwell, who was also found guilty in federal court of running a sex trafficking ring. He had no client list, huh? It's very strange because the Attorney General has said that his client list was sitting on her desk.
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Pam Bondi has gone on and said that there are tens of thousands of horrific images of child predation. Also, Lena Habba saying the same thing. So whoa. There's all these people, all these names. There's been no accountability. Yes, this is exactly what we've been talking about. Guys like Bill Clinton, who flew to Epstein's Island, who in the released, and it took them years, but they finally released some of the depositions from some of the young abused women on the island. They said, we've seen Bill Clinton on this island. He's been here with us. He's been taken into back rooms. We've seen Clinton ourselves.
Any comments on the alleged allegation of your connection with Jeffrey Epstein? No.
I think the evidence is clear. Really? What evidence, Bill? Well, apparently, according to the feds, there is no evidence. Justice Department and FBI concluded that they have no evidence. This is in spite of the hundreds of hours of physical evidence that we can see with our own eyes and ears inside of Jeffrey Epstein's multiple residences. Time and time again, we document this, that the feds are carrying out boxes after boxes after boxes of hard drives, Mac towers, and like CDs. Some of these hard drives were wrapped in yellow evidence tape, not put there by the feds, according to the FBI special agent in charge, put there by Epstein. Epstein himself had evidence. But they want us to believe that because they released this video, which, by the way, like, you're telling me that the government can't doctor evidence? It shows that nobody entered or exited the cell block. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, I don't, something darker is going on here. DOJ, FBI.
All right, so what's really going on here? In my humble opinion, we all have one, right? So do I. Of course, there is a list. And of course, if there wouldn't be a list, you wouldn't have Ghislaine Maxwell in jail. You wouldn't have Epstein in jail. And if you want to know my opinion, I believe that he is still alive. And he is in a place in which he delivered a lot of, let's say, he answered many questions, I put this way. This is my opinion. Now, why they are saying there is no list now? I think the main reason for it is because they still need those people who are on the list to do certain things. And to maybe be that stupid and believe that there is no justice coming after them. I am absolutely certain that there are other things that will be presented to us before that list that are very, very important. I think a lot of those people who are on that list are not expecting that they will end up where they will eventually end up. You might call me naive, and I really don't care. This is my opinion, and I stay with it. They are playing with not so much the public, but with those who think that there is no justice, punishment coming after them. And just on that note, from what I came across from my research that I spent a really long time, all those years from 2020 and all the information that was circulating, and when you were going deeper into those rabbit holes, that island was not just about young women, young girls going there and being used, we know for what. That was much more horrific place. Let's say, let me just put this way, because who knows what this video again, if YouTube decides to not pay me. If you needed a certain organ, if you needed a liver, a heart, or something else, or if you needed a fresh meat to consume, that was the place for it. So the sexual aspect of it, it's still horrific, but is, I would say, probably the last on that list. That's absolutely a low vibrational topic, I know, but I have to tell you guys, this list of course exists, we all know it does. It's just they are not willing to release it now because they are taking care of other things, and we're gonna see a lot of stuff coming up. A lot. I have to just use your critical thinking and connect the dots. And I know many people jump to the conclusion this is because this one is on this list and that one is on this list and that they don't want to do it. Yeah, they still need to, like, they were blackmailing people using that evidence that was recorded on that island. Now they are doing the same from the other side to get whatever they need to get, let's say, to sign certain bills in certain Congress. As far as the stories go, let's go to Poland, everyone, because our border between Poland and Germany from yesterday is being monitored, and we have the border checks, as you know, from Polish side and from German side. Here is a conference with our Polish-speaking Prime Minister Donald Tusk, new/old, because this is the second time that he is the Prime Minister of Poland. I muted this video because you don't need to hear his voice. Maybe even better, you're gonna read his body language. Here is a press conference. Who is next to him? It really doesn't matter. I want to focus on what he's saying, but this is the Prime Minister of the Netherlands, as you can see the flag right here. So what is he saying here, Tusk? He's saying that on the border with Germany, all the border crossings have become critical infrastructure objects. Before I continue, so what does it mean? Critical infrastructure objects, it means that you are not allowed to take photos, to record the videos, and to capture anything as far as the object, because I don't know exactly what is the punishment. Maybe you can even go to jail. And that's what he decided, that from now on, that border between Poland and Germany, you cannot document what's going on there. That's what he wants. Mystery. This means that these places are subject to special protection. We had two goals in mind when we restored temporary controls on the border with Germany. Firstly, in every single case, when the German side wants to hand over to Poland an illegal migrant who crossed the border illegally, because he was supposed to cross the German border coming from Poland. So then the state has the right, just like we do with Lithuania, to send back the person who crossed the border illegally. Okay, throughout this conference, especially in this part, I just want to tell you guys, there are many, many places, okay, in that borderline between Poland and Germany, that even though they say they are monitored, they cannot be monitored, and the smuggling of people can be in many, many places, okay? So he's not telling the truth because I don't think they control it, and actually there are still attempts of people trying to cross that border. But maybe a little less because now they know there is control. But let's continue, because now he's gonna talk about punishment for Polish citizens. But we are restoring control so that each such a case is checked very carefully. It will no longer be the case that anyone who has opposed the border crossed the border illegally and whose documentation is not complete and unambiguous, sorry for mispronunciation, will be sent to Poland from anywhere, be it Germany or any other country. Poland will not accept anyone who is not 100% certain that he or she tried to cross the border from Poland. I'm not buying his story anyway. We are ready to fulfill our obligations, but after very careful checking each individual case, the reintroduction of controls of the German border is intended to end the procedure of sending to Polish territory those who were sent to Poland by other countries, including Germany, on the basis of this whatever. Let me now get you to what he said about Polish people who were protecting those borders. As you know, we had Polish Patriots going there and protecting the homeland. Now he says, you know well that politicians from some parties, now he's turning this around, of course, right? It's not about Polish people who love their own country. Thank God there are still some that they know this is their home, this is their homeland, and they will protect this homeland. Let's say it's a house. And if you have a guest that is not invited and is trying to force himself into your house, you protect your house, right? It's common sense. So now he's, of course, using that this was the political movement because the other party, the opposition to his agenda, is trying to create this issue. He says, you know well that politicians from some parties want to abuse this and take advantage of it. This is a problem in the Netherlands, in Poland, and in fact in all of Europe. Yeah, the Europe is absolutely loaded with crime and issues like this. I cannot look at his face, but let me just translate all this BS. There is no reason to unleash xenophobic, racist, aggressive behavior. This is what he's talking about Polish patriots who were standing and protesting at the border between Poland and Germany against bringing to Poland illegal migrants who might commit crimes in Poland. I will continue. It must be respected that the Polish state will effectively verify each of such cases. So they're going to verify those who protest now. We will use appropriate measures. This is directed to Polish people. Border crossing, as I said, will be covered by this critical infrastructure rule. So which means, like, if you go to the border and you're one of those people, Polish patriots trying to protect Polish border, and you want to take a photo or record a video of, look what they are bringing to us, you cannot do it because you will end up in jail. Border guards and police officers have clear instructions to react firmly to any attempts to disrupt border control, and in particular, impersonating state services and obstructing activities will be severely punished. So he's directing this to any Polish citizen who wants to protect the country. This will include fines, but if necessary, also direct concession and detention measures. So that's what I wanted to show you, everyone. This is what they call democracy, right? This is Orwell. We see how much longer this person will be prime minister. I think not that much longer. As soon as the new president of Poland is being sworn in, It's time to go. This one has so much in his resume. Highway to hell, I'm telling you. Now let me show you what took place in one of the Polish cities in Toruń. This is the place in which that beautiful girl Claudia has been so brutally killed by that 19-year-old guy from Venezuela. But it's not about the country he's from, it's about why that took place and how this took place. People have marched on Sunday. I didn't report on this. This was really moving and I watched this live. This is from the Polish channel Poland Daily Life, so already in English. I'm gonna play a part of it for you. People were marching in a silent march, protesting against what took place. A really beautiful, moving movement, and I'm really proud that there are people like this still in Poland who want to stand up for their country. So let me play this for you, and you already have English translation here.
A silent march commemorating the brutally murdered Claudia from the old market square in Toruń, Poland, to the local park. It was there that an illegal immigrant from Venezuela stood in the Polish woman's way and brutally took her life. I came here primarily to commemorate Claudia, who was brutally murdered in the park on her way home from work. For me, it is simply unthinkable that in Poland, a person cannot feel safe, that after a hard day's work, one wants to go home and such a tragedy can happen. So that we pay attention to what is really happening in our country. This is a very important moment. I think that every woman, in fact entire families, should take part in such events. We are here to show our opposition to the treatment of Poles in our country, as was the case with this girl who was brutally raped and murdered by an immigrant. We oppose this. We oppose illegal migration and such treatment of Poles in our own country. Claudia was only 24 years old and had her whole life ahead of her. But all the dreams and plans of this beautiful and talented girl, a doctoral student at the Nicholas Copernicus University in Toruń, were taken away by an illegal immigrant. A Venezuelan stabbed her dozens of times. She fought her attacker and then fought for her life in the hospital. But her injuries proved fatal. This could affect any one of us, any one of our loved ones, any one of our families. We must be here to protest against this brutality. It was a silent march, but in reality, it was a loud cry of protest. Poles do not agree with the migration policy pushed through by Donald Tusk and the December 13th coalition, which involves bringing illegal and dangerous migrants, rapists, murderers, and criminals to our country. I am afraid for my future. I am afraid for my immediate family, for my friends. I also have a little grandson, and I am afraid for him too. Poland is currently experiencing its first tragedies related to mass immigration. This tragic situation in Toruń reminded me of the attack that took place in Marseille in October 2017. A Tunisian immigrant rushed with a knife shouting Allahu Akbar at two young 20-year-old girls at the main train station. These two girls, Laura and Moran, died in terrible suffering, in a terrible torment. Just like Claudia, but as TV Republica learned tonight, another immigrant, a 29-year-old Colombian, fatally stabbed a 41-year-old Polish man in the town of Nowe in the Kujawian-Pomeranian province during a fight in a bar. 10 people were detained in connection with the case, including 5 Colombian citizens. If we don't take matters into our own hands, then the government will definitely not be able to handle it, and it won't go in the right direction. What else has to happen in Europe or Poland? How many rapes? How many deaths? How much misery must there be for Donald Tusk to understand that he cannot stop the border guard, the police, and the army from carrying out normal protective and defensive activities? Because it is very dangerous. Migrants are arriving in Poland from unknown places and for unknown reasons, and these migrants are bringing misfortune. Poles in their cities and towns see what Donald Tusk is turning a blind eye to. People care above.
I have to tell you guys that still hearing this story, and I've heard this so many times, it still brings the tears into my eyes. I actually watched that march on Sunday live, and they reported that there were thousands of people who were walking in silence in that march, and they have gathered in that park in a place where she was killed, and I placed the cross there as a symbol. You know, someone left a comment under that video in which I was reporting on this horrific story for you guys, and I will paraphrase this comment. I don't have it ready here at the front of me. Someone said, you know, Anya, her eyes were closed so we could open ours. It's a really heartbreaking story, and this is the European Union policy. This is the policy of the demonic satanic forces, that most of which are not human beings. You know my approach to this. This is exactly how they are feeding their energy when people are suffering, when they are afraid, when there is war, death, and other things like that. There are still people in this world, many people, and I believe there is majority of people who are against this, who stand up against this. And I see this in Poland, and I know that they are not going to win this. The more we talk about it, doesn't matter where you are, what's your nationality, when you are experiencing something like this, when you are witnessing, even not in person, but on social media, things like this, you have to make a stand. This is not okay. We are not for it. We are for safe place to live, for the future, for everyone. Even if you don't have family, even if you don't have children, doesn't matter. You wish everyone to have a great future and potential and make their dreams come true and something to live for. This is what you want. So this is the video today, everyone. I really appreciate your support. Thank you for watching. I will attach the links down below in the description box. And to those of you who support my work on Patreon, PayPal, and Locals, thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. And I hope you understood and you took the right way, the beginning of this video, why I'm showing this to you, because clearly, when you talk about certain topics, it's not so welcome, but I will continue to do it because that's how I am. Lots of love, everyone, and remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity, and I see you in another video. Bye, everyone.